Testing. Sick. All right, so the hard part of this is pretty much already over, and that's just realizing that we can do this and actually have just a little bit of contact and no one's gonna explode. And we've been testing this out for a couple years, and like I think we have a good group this year. I think we can have some very artful displays, and that's the mentality. Like in years past, we separated us into this trades guild and that trades guild, but boy, we need to be all in the same guild, right? First, we need to fight in our, stube. We need our drinking hall, our little hotel, and our internal plots, and that's here. So that means it's not the barrel makers and the weavers. It's just all of us fencers. I don't know. Ooh, what's a good trade? Yeah, that's a good go. That's a go-to one. Anyone got? Do I hear a second? Roger's Rules of Order.
Second. Schmidt takes it.
The Smith takes it. Okay. All right. So yeah, we can all be nice smiths together. We can be cutlers. So when you engage with your fellow fencers with the rules of the Fechtschul, which is the restrictions to the art, it is an exchange, and you're displaying that for the room. You're like, I know how to do this. I'm giving them all this time to do that because I think I can parry. It is a giant peacock display, right? It really is. If it's bam, 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 and withdrawal and you can't see what's going on, well, did you know what was going on? Did they know? Did they just parry and back away? It's not very entertaining. You didn't display much. You displayed a quick series of blows that may or may not have landed well. So go at a pace where you know that you're placing the sword where you want it to be. So we've already established that pace. So now we're just going to add that withdrawal and the go back in and the restrictions. So no thrusting to the face. No finger loosening. Don't aim for the hands, right? No, untempered frolicking, no throwing stuff at people, no shameful, hurtful words. So we're not going to jeer, right? I think everyone in the crowd this year is going to be a corner ref with us because we're all watching the two people in the center. I'll be the safety. You guys can look. Like, the job is they did well or not, right? It's pretty easy, and we're going to explain that in greater detail because it's hard if it's just me. I would like to have a second pair of eyes at the very least. We could try to do the calling of shots, but that stops the flow of the fight. That's why we don't, oh, you got me. Because now, while you're thinking, oh, they got me, you should have been thinking, ouch, I'm not dead yet. I need to keep fighting. Or they're abzuking. If I run in right now, they're going to lower the staff. So I need to reset myself and get my head right. Like, you have enough time to literally create a fight plan, right? You're going to have, this is not a lot of people. We'll have 5 organic exchanges. Organic meaning you control the going, the gong, right? You start in the Zufechten. You move to the middle work. You're displaying, you're offering, you're provoking. Magic happens. There's some sort of natural conclusion. And when that natural conclusion is done, that's when I'm like one. I don't say that out loud. And it might be a bunch of, like, if you tippy-tap out of distance a bunch, it's not very entertaining, but that's what you displayed. You displayed a lot of running away from each other. I'll count those too. So make a plan, try to execute the plan, and then withdraw. So if you withdraw cleanly and safely to get distance to go back into the fight, man, boy, the rules, you create the rules for the fight you want to see, right? So the Fechtschul style rules is a beautiful, flowy display of ridiculous handworks because you don't have to have fear that they're going to do grappling or tossing you. So you're keeping your weapon. We are not going to do any pommel work. You don't give them the tip or the pommel, right? So the head is the only point-giving target. But however, you can slap someone in the leg, never take the hit. I wouldn't, don't try to hurt them. You can aim low for their stomach just to get them to go low. Take a lower opening in order to set up a high opening. That's pretty good display. There's no way to cheat. The only way you can cheat is by being unprovocable, is by just standing there while they hit you in the hands. Don't parry with your hands.
Or your wrists.
Or, well, you parry with your arms all you like, but it's not a very good display of your skill. So I think that's all that this is really supposed to be in your mind, is like, it is no longer a competition. The competition is with yourself. You are trying to display an artful exchange that's at the peak of your ability to provoke and invite and perform the movements you like. So when we are going to do that today with the rules, with our masks, but we're going to just we're going to calibrate again, and we'll just add a withdrawal and a go back in, and we'll add a withdrawal and a go back in, and we're going to test those rules like the full body targeting has to be tested. You have to have confidence now that you're able to hit people and they're not going to run in and stab you. There's a whole lot of things that can happen when you're not doing that next move and letting go and grappling, all the fun stuff, right? You have to train that a little bit out right before an event. As far as like the people that just show up and have in the past, they're the dangerous babies. They're the dangerous ones because they're just they haven't adjusted their skills, or they've adjusted their skills to the best of their capabilities, and that's what they're displaying, is still the inability to follow the restrictions. I've seen people thrust. I've seen people start to trip people up. You'll see people run in, and you'll see people run away and just totally break distance and always give away whatever advantage they could have had. So we're just going to use the calibration drill with a withdrawal until it turns into free play, until we pretty much leave, and we'll take some breaks, and we're going to go back over the restrictions. And I will be pulling Ben and, well, all my fectors, raise your hands. Who's my fectors? Yeah, baby. You guys get the first rule set, and then you guys can teach a friend, and we're going to spread like cancer. But I'll pull my fectors aside, and we're going to talk about what the Schutzhalter do. Historically, they were crowd control. They had the lead-weighted deuce axe or staffs, and they kept the untempered frolicking at bay by fines and beatings. But we're not on the public plots. We're in our own guild's tavern. So this is an actual Fechtschul. You had Fechtschul's or two types. Oh, we're getting a history lesson. One more. You had dry ones and wet ones. Dry ones were training ones, and there is no expectation of a barber. There's no expectation of food or drink. Maybe there was an expectation of blood, maybe there wasn't. A lot of the city training was dry, had no expectation of any of that, including blood. The wet matches included libations like beer, but also had a lot more untempered frolicking because of it. And those are the ones that the restrictions were on. So it was safe to do amongst your friends, and then once you decided that it was a competition, like city ordinances come out. Because people can't control themselves if you're trying to win something. What you win is the honor of being a good freaking opponent and displaying your skill while they display theirs. I don't know if am I saying that clear enough?
Yeah.
Is there a way to say that better?
Nope.
How would you say it?
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. Oh my God. That's my philosophy. All right.
Yeah.
So
the way I've always conceived of it is everyone in it is someone who you're going to have to live with tomorrow. Everybody. And so, we all get to go home, which means I can be a jerk and you guys can all talk shit later about me. But if we're all in the same guild, or if we all live on the same street or whatever, and I'm that asshole who thrusts people in the face in the Fechtschul, I have to live with you now. The consequences are social.
yeah, economic consequences. We can't replicate that, but
Or can we?
we can. We can. Well, yeah, if you fuck somebody up, we're gonna steal your swords.
No.
Like, we'll take one sword from you for every stitch. God, that'd be brutal.
I only have one sword.
Like,
Well, I already lost all my swords.
yeah, got nothing to lose now. There's always a way to rules game it, right? So the only person you're going to be able to game in this mentality is yourself, right? So the restrictions have already gamed the art so much, right? You're not allowed to thrust them. Gee whiz. You're not allowed to freaking, kick them in the junk. You're not allowed to give them pocket sand. No fish hooks, no eye gougery, no hair pulling. Man, if you made it illegal to do the Zvechow, you wouldn't even have anything left to do.
No thumbtacks.
No thumbtacks.
What about the Three Stooges?
No eye gouges. Together or separate.
Yeah, you're right. Oh.
All right. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to have 2 columns of pairs. So 2 pairs there, 2 pairs, 2 pairs. And then we'll rotate partners. And what we'll do is, we'll rotate partners. I'll direct all traffic. But you got to start with the calibration.
With masks?
Yes. Start with calibration with masks. So taking the mask on and off for calibrating, you're calibrating to a head instead of the mask. I don't want you to calibrate to the mask. I don't want you to calibrate to a head when I need you to be aiming for the mask. It means you'll aim through the mask, which is counterproductive. So after you give the speech that I did, something about camaraderie and all that, then unleash them to recalibrate, and they switch partners at least 2 or 3 times, and you have them add the withdrawal in and back out between them, and it's basically free play with the rules. It is the Fechtschul without any pressure. So the way to have the referees, I'm going to make the whole referees the crowd. Everybody's going to be involved. Normally I would have 4 people in the corners, and the guy with the staff, me, is the one who's the safety control, who levels the staff, that they strike neither above nor below. However, I have 4 people, and they have clickers or counters, or they use their fingers for the 2 fencers that they're watching. And they have a primary and a secondary that they're watching on each side. And it's best of for their 5 ganga. Now, if the whole crowd is doing it, I think that people fence better because the real display pressure's on. So if everyone gets the consensus, and like, we'll see how it works this year.